Hi, and welcome to MC Podcast number 26. This is a kind of a special podcast today. In studio, I have Scott Harris, National Sales Manager. I have Andrew Crabtree, hello. I guess you're the marketing director of marketing.
Yep.
And so we're gonna just kind of wrap up a little bit of World Dairy Expo and our experience there, and kind of everything that kind of happened there. Andrew, for you guys, World Dairy Expo was really special this year.
Yeah, this was. I mean, I've been probably going to World Dairy Expo for probably 10 years, give or take, as a commercial exhibitor. This was the first year that I was there as technically a media member.
Okay.
So anybody that follows our content very closely knows that we've been creating vlogs on our YouTube channel for the past year, dating back to World Dairy Expo 2016.
Okay, I have a question, and this is kind of a serious diversion of a question.
Sure.
Okay, so what actually constitutes a vlog?
So a vlog is broken down as a video blog.
Okay,
if you can believe
right.
that.
I understand that.
So vlogging, anybody that watches a lot of YouTube, vlogging has kind of its own style.
Right.
It's more narrated by the filmer, so to speak. So even a lot of the times where our MC Daily vlog, we'll call it a vlog. It's not always what you would probably strictly call a vlog, because it's not actually being narrated by the videographer. It's there's usually somebody, you or Kevin or Scott or somebody that's more of the narrator.
Right.
So vlog style, I don't know that there's any true definition on it, or at least not one that I know, but it would be more, that I'm holding the camera, I'm talking to the camera, narrating it as I'm kind of filming it. It's a little lower production style. It's a little faster paced. Videos that are more or less tended to just be posted online.
Okay.
So I call them vlogs for lack of a better term, but we're making on YouTube, for the last year we've been making these, 5 to 7, 8 minute videos that we're, for lack of a better term, calling vlogs.
Yeah, and it sounds cooler than documentary.
Yeah, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Watch your language. This is a family program, Scott Harris.
Could have been worse.
You can't say that.
I had other ones in my head that I was going to try to work through, but none of them
seemed
seemed
with
to.
some of those. Yeah,
No, okay. Didn't work.
So actually, it was really cool because last year at World Dairy Expo in 2016, it was the 50th anniversary of World Dairy Expo. So we decided to start. We documented each day that we were there, and we just, it was the first time we'd ever done anything like that. And then when we go back and we watch a year ago to now, I mean, it's funny how much our ability to tell a story has evolved. But so it marked the 1 year of us creating this video content online. So we actually worked through World Dairy Expo in an official capacity to make vlogs this year for the show. While we were doing that, we were still making vlogs for our own channel. So we took the whole marketing team up. We went up and we started documenting the process of setup day all the way through the Supreme Champion ceremony that ends the show at 5 o'clock on Saturday. So it made for a very full week. We made 9 videos in 6 days. I think I figured it up, and we were averaging around 19-hour work days, because when you're turning around a video like that, you're spending the whole day filming, and then as soon as the show's over, you're in the hotel editing.
Yeah. And it's not just, let's just cut this out and get this. It's
a 7-hour edit.
Yeah. It's a long thing, and so the hotel room cracked me up when I walked in. Because they had this whole setup where they had moved the desk out from the wall, and they pulled a drawer out and put it on top and had monitors up and computers.
And the Gideon's Bible was supporting the drawer because it was.
So are you trying to say that these were built on the Word of God? Is that what you're trying to?
In the most technical sense, yes.
Literally, it was literally built on the Word.
We digress.
We did.
So yeah, we had two 27-inch monitors on a little bitty desk with keyboards and laptops, and it was maybe not the most comfortable work station that I've ever been a part of, but we had one guy that was editing the World Dairy Expo on one side, and then the other guy was editing the Master's Choice vlog that went up on our own channel. So we you might call us overachievers. But we decided that
not generally. Not generally.
No. Okay. I mean, you had a hard week's work.
Sure.
Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. You did a lot of work in 1 week.
We could have posted the World Dairy Expo official vlogs that we did for the show on our own channel and just used that content twice. But we figured that if somebody was watching their content and being referred to our channel, we wanted to give them some more special behind the scenes.
Right.
We didn't want to just regurgitate the same content that they'd already seen.
Definitely.
So the vlogs on our own channel took a lot more of a behind the scenes approach. What went into making the vlogs, parts of the show, and that process of making the vlogs that people don't usually get to see. So, super secret hallway. I don't want to give anything away. Go to the YouTube channel, but just seeing lots of parts of the show in the grounds that I had never seen as a commercial exhibitor before.
Definitely. And your guys, your team was great. And so you said that the marketing team was up there almost all week. You were up there half a week. Jonah was up there half a week. The rest of the marketing team was up there full week.
All week.
So the kind of the handoff between you and Jonah was pretty seamless though.
Yeah, I feel like it was. Like you said, Kyle and Aaron were there the whole week, so they kept everything grounded. But I think that me and Jonah did a good job of adding value while we were there, and I think we definitely learned that to produce projects on that scale, that we need the whole team there all week. So there will be no baton passing next year. There will just be everybody will be there all week.
Yeah, and y'all did good. Y'all worked hard. There were many times that at night we went out and we would go out to eat at a nice place, and y'all were like, well, we'll just order pizza and sit in our hotel room.
and not to be martyrs. I mean, it was just, like I said, is a 7-hour editing process.
Oh, yeah.
So if we go out to eat, that's just a couple hours that later we're going to bed.
Exactly. No, I get that.
So, but yeah, it was just so much fun. I mean, it was literally probably the most fun I've ever had in my life on a shoot. Just got to meet some really outstanding people, the people that run World Dairy Expo, and the people in the media department there, and the people that are just in management are really, really great people, fun to be around. They were excited to see the vlogs every morning, so when we brought them in to post them, they were all excited to see them, and it was just a fun environment. Constantly moving, there's not a lot of time to second guess what you're doing, because you've literally just got to go out and shoot all day and then edit and then turn around a video, and then you kind of like, well, I think it was good. But the results were really, really good. We were excited to kind of give them a week or so after posting to kind of see where the final, more or less, view counts and things came out. We ended up with 250,000 views between all the vlogs, between all the platforms they were posted on. So between Facebook and YouTube on World Dairy Expo's platforms and ours, we totaled up 250,000 views, and I don't know, I mean, several hundred shares. I want to say it was like,
you realize that's
225,000
people.
Yeah,
250,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
250,000 views.
I just want to make
on 9
sure
videos
we knew we were on the same page with what 250,000
I'm
meant.
not great at math.
Oh, okay.
And I went into
clearly
marketing,
am,
so my
I'm
math
not
is,
either.
I'm able to fudge my math a little bit. But
skewed math.
when you go to the platforms and add them up, we had 250,000 views across those videos. We just lots of fun stuff. I mean, like I said earlier, I had been a commercial exhibitor for a long time in the Master's Choice booth, and you kind of are in the exhibition hall, and this is your space, and you're not supposed to do a whole lot outside that space. You kind of walk around and see other stuff, but I didn't realize the depth of the show outside of the commercial exhibition.
What was the the most, I don't necessarily want to say the most rewarding, but the most surprising? What was the one thing that to you really sticks out in your mind about that whole
100%, 100% FFA Day. The first day of the show, the opening Tuesday of the show is kind of unofficially deemed FFA Day. That's the day that most FFA programs in the area, I mean, from a pretty wide radius, I think, bring their school buses and their FFA kids to the show. There's a lot more stuff that the show does to engage those kids than I realized. From a commercial exhibitor standpoint, they walk by the booth, they take the pens, and it's like, I don't mean this in a, it's going to sound uglier than I intend it, but from a commercial exhibitor standpoint, FFA Day can be,
Vulture Day.
Yeah, it's almost got a negative connotation to exhibitors, because there's not a whole lot of other traffic there. Most of the farm folks and the industry people that we're used to making connections with in that show, they're not there on Tuesday because there's so many FFA kids there. And so it's just, hide your pens, because...
So I don't know if you two know this story. Some folks in the office do. Last week I got a card in the mail, and there was a thank you card, and really and truly I got it. It was from Wisconsin. I really couldn't. The name on it was an odd name. I did, and I opened it up, and it was a thank you card from a foreign exchange student who was with one of the Wisconsin FFAs, and these kids were going around, and they would have to fill out sheets about things. They would have to fill out, questionnaires.
Like a questionnaire, basically.
Yeah, definitely a questionnaire. What do you sell? What are you good at? Who is your target audience? Just this, and so she was of Asian descent, and so as we're talking, she didn't speak English very well, but she was there with a bunch of young ladies, and we were handing out earbuds and cards and pens and stuff, but we were making kids sign up for our YouTube channel. They were making them subscribe. Well, in the process of that, she's also trying to ask these questions, and so we were trying to engage these kids. Well, she was having a hard time communicating. The whats and the wheres and the whens were all kind of mixed up, and I just was trying to listen, and so anyway, I opened up this card, and it's basically this young lady, this foreign exchange student, saying, "Thank you for being patient with me and talking through these things and answering my questions, and you were the only one who would talk to us about this." And so cool. I really thought, at first I thought, man, who is this from? Where did this card from? And then I realized, thinking back at the beginning of that week, this is one of the young ladies that I talked to. So it made me think, I wonder how many of these kids, we see at the Dairy Expo, and we don't. We almost have this negative connotation about them. But yet here are our future, the future of agriculture right here with us, and what an opportunity to just grab their attention, to make an impact on them, to help them understand, there's more to agriculture than just you getting on a tractor, and there's more to do in agriculture than just absolutely sit on a tractor or milk cows or raise beef or chickens or whatever. There's all of these other parts that you can still be very connected to and very important with agriculture. And yet sometimes we look at those kids and we go, they're going to take all my pens.
Yeah, and you know what? Like the thing I took away from it, and there might be some of those kids that are just joined FFA to have that day off of school and they're taking pens. But the thing that getting outside of the booth and talking to these kids for the vlog, I was just really struck by how serious they are about agriculture, and not just serious but passionate.
Yeah,
these kids that are exhibiting cattle, and these kids that are there for the product judging and the milk judging and like lots of cool stuff that I didn't even know that was going on.
How was the milk?
I didn't get to go.
The milk oh, you didn't?
I was not there. I was recording podcasts in the booth. But Aaron and Kyle went, and they got some footage. So if you go to the World Dairy Expo's Facebook page or their YouTube and check out the, I think it was, I can't remember what it was called, maybe as FFA Day or something. But he was like, there's the first vlog, there's a milk product, and there's actually, I didn't know this either, there's a forage judging competition.
Oh, I didn't know
as
there
well.
was a forage judging.
So just like, we have the Forage Super Bowl that we submit our hybrids into, or that farms will submit their hybrids into on, with our hybrids. There is a forage judging for the FFA kids where they're expected to read lab results and visually score a sample just like the Forage Super Bowl would. So I thought that was really, really cool. But part of like I said, for part of the vlogs was we spent that day focusing on youth and FFA, and I was left with a strong sense of hope for the future of our industry, because these kids, every one of them that I talk to, they want to have a career in ag, they want to have a future in ag and in farming and in the industry. So just incredible attitudes, incredible work ethics in a lot of these kids, and kids that are soon going to be in the ag economy and in the ag workforce. So you asked me that question, and bar none, that's the thing I was most looking forward to.
So one of the things that's always, I didn't get to be there for FFA Day this year. My first time in 3 years, I think I wasn't up there all week. In the past, one of the things that has stuck out to me is how knowledgeable they are about what happens on their farms.
Yeah.
My dad plants Master's Choice, or my dad
they're
likes.
Definitely connected to the farm. They enjoy it. It's not like Daddy made them do chores. I mean, they want to participate in the dairy because they want to work in dairy when they when they graduate.
Yeah.
So that was a fun day, and like go back and watch that video because I definitely took a lot out of it, and especially the cattle exhibition. Those kids work year round on preparing animals for that 1 week, and there's just hearing them talk about how much goes into it and how much pride they have in showing those animals, and then just seeing the look on their face when they've done. I mean, it was my favorite part of the the whole week, I think, was I was out filming and I was doing interviews with some of these FFA kids and these kids that were exhibiting cattle. And there was this little girl. I mean, she probably was maybe 10, 11 years old, just really little girl. And she had a smile from ear to ear. And she walked out, and I got choked up when I was filming it for the vlog, and she said, "Mommy, I did it."
Oh, well, that's
and
cool.
she had a big ribbon around her neck,
Nice.
and she won the junior exhibitor, for that day. She was the junior champion, and she was just I mean, the littlest girl, just so proud.
That's cool.
So seeing these kids that just take the cattle exhibiting and all of those things in FFA seriously from such a young age is really exciting for me as someone that works in the industry.
Definitely. Scott, you were on the second team this year.
I was.
And so you came back from Dairy Expo, and then you hit the road again, and so we really haven't got to catch up. What was your greatest takeaway from Dairy Expo this year?
I think this year, probably more than anything, was the amount of international people that were there was huge. It seemed like even more than past years. And we got to engage them a lot more. We're trying to learn more and more about the international market and what that looks like for the future of Master's Choice. Not as much about right now, but what it looks like in the future. And I got to learn so much about many of the international markets are facing challenges that we were facing in our dairy market 5-6 years ago. And so it's kind of interesting to see how that's all kind of taking place, and you're able to kind of bring a level of value to them that's different completely without, it's not, like I said, it doesn't mean sales tomorrow. So it's just really learning process for them. That was probably my biggest takeaway, along with just the amount of, I just get humbled. I get humbled every year at World Dairy because with running and traveling like so many of us do, you honestly begin to, people can become just faces. And how many were at the meeting? How many did you have at your winter? How many farm calls did you do today? It's all numbers. And at World Dairy Expo, it's a reminder that these are people. And these are people that we love working with. And this is an industry that we love working in. And you have these great, meaningful conversations with dairymen that are using your product and or are going to use your product or have had great experience or positive things. And it's just great reminder of why we do what we do.
Yeah. No, I would agree with you. This year Dairy Expo for me was, the kids. We engage those kids more, which I was really, it just was really good. And then catching up with people that maybe I hadn't seen in a while, and hearing stories of people that I had never met that they were using Master's Choice, and really it's one of those things that there's a lot of times for us in R&D. Even though I travel a lot with sales, and even though I speak with a lot of people in R&D, sometimes you kind of like, you find a product, you develop it, and then you push it out commercial, and you kind of forget about it because you're looking for the next thing. But what was awesome is here were products that we had bred and tested and selected for increased digestibility and milk production and whatever. And here you meet a guy who's using it. It's like, man, I love this stuff. It does exactly
it does exactly what we said it's going to do.
Yeah. It does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh, yeah. It's not, it's not just a product that we
just a marketing concept. It's not just
it's not, and it's not, and it makes you want to do more. It makes you want to go find the next thing, so that you can help that guy. Because a lot of times it just becomes the process, especially for an R&D guy. It becomes about the process.
And even from mine and probably Scott's perspective too, when you spend so much time in this office and you're talking about selling product, you make the materials and you substantiate the claims. but there's something different, and it becomes so much more real when you see somebody that it's changed the way that they farm, or it's changed the way that they're able to provide for their family because, the success that our product has had on their farm. I mean, it's like the word you use, humbling. I mean, to see what we're doing is not just for marketing or for sales. It has real world implications to people and can actually, impact people's lives. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. Well, speaking of success, we had the Ford Super Bowl this year. And if I remember the numbers correctly, I could probably look them up on my phone. But there were almost 400,
390
something samples submitted for the standard corn silage division. What's the division that we get to enter in what have you. We had 24 or so of those samples.
24 exactly.
24 samples that were submitted there
of the almost 400
of the almost 400 Master Choice, and we had the grand champion standard corn silage this year. It was our MC 4050. It was 90-day hybrid, and the cool thing about it was an organic hybrid. It was organically grown, organically produced.
Yeah.
It was an organic hybrid that actually was the grand champion of the standard corn silage division. So again, I mean, that's just compiled success upon success there. That I think sometimes we I'll just say it. We've won so much there sometimes that it's almost that we're expected, and it gets and it gets kind of
it feels better this year.
It feels
there were a lot more samples submitted this year than any year that I have ever been around. It was
the most ever, I think, in World Dairy
and probably
history,
not even close.
Sure. They said, like drastically more.
Yeah.
So for us to submit probably the same amount of samples or less maybe even than we have historically against a drastically larger field, and still come out on top and have 2 in the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
we had the grand champion, then we had number 10. Yep.
And I like it was really fun because whenever people would come up and ask us, hey, here you guys, I heard you won again, or you guys won this year, and well, what hybrid won? And you'd say the hybrid, and they're like, oh, it'd be a traded guy. He'd say, I played in 4058, and be like, actually, it was the organic version, and their eyes would get about this big, like, what?
Hey, could you show everybody on the radio again how big those eyes got?
Hey, there's a camera right there.
Here you go, YouTube.
So, but
no, you're right.
It's just cool that it was a hybrid that does have all that flexibility as far as usage.
Definitely.
So it was pretty fun.
In fact, so the genetics behind. In fact, we had an organic 4050 hybrid down in. So this one was grown up around Green Bay. The one that won was grown up in that area. We actually had an organic 4050 down in the Panhandle of Texas this year, and survived and did fairly well.
Yep.
Even down there. So you talk about versatility of a hybrid, pretty exciting there. So here here we are again. We're sitting here off of the grand champion standard corn silage. We had great milk per ton averages throughout all of our hybrids there, and so it to me Dairy Expo this year was not that it hasn't been fun in the past, but it was a lot of fun this year for me. It was a lot of fun.
It definitely felt different, and especially from my perspective, like having a different role there. But it definitely felt like we were more ingrained in the fabric of the show. It felt like we were a little more than just a commercial exhibitor that occupies a 20 by 20 end cap down by the concession stand. It definitely felt more like we were a part of the community of the show in lots of different ways. So I thought that was I too felt a different vibe, if you will, throughout the show this year.
Did it feel the same for the B team, Scott?
I don't know. You'll need to ask them.
The junior varsity team that comes in the second part of the week.
I don't know. I was the leader of that team, but okay, yes, it was different. Okay, even as the B team, it was definitely a different one for me. I mean, I sat up in the international lounge for one day, just for kind of see what that was like, and I didn't get to be a part as much of the normal activity as what I would have been in the past, so I can't necessarily draw a direct
can you
correlation.
Speak to the perks of the international lounge? Because I heard a rumor that you stayed up there because there was a donut cart, and there was like a chocolate milk delivery system. There was a buffet, maybe even.
As my friend Ollie North says, I don't recall. I got nothing.
Yeah, I will admit
Hey, when
to
you're the
nothing.
sales manager, you get those perks.
You get those perks, I
hey,
guess. Yeah.
You sit in the international
So,
lounge.
so speaking of the sales manager, that second team this year, we had some new faces on that.
We did.
On that second team. How did we have affectionately called them many things around here.
Yeah.
We will just
Some are not meant for radio.
yeah, some are not meant for some are not meant at all. You know what I mean? And but our new sales reps who are kind of scattered. South Dakota. Do we have any? We don't have any in Minnesota. Michigan.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
Where else? Is that it?
Yep.
Is that?
Yep.
So there was 6 or 7 of those guys.
Yeah, so we had so there was an interesting dynamic to that this year because you have for one thing you have people that we just hired within the past 2 months that you're sticking in a booth that are going to have conversations about products that they're just now learning about, and so there's a little bit of as a control freak aspect that's a little bit scary for me, and for the other people. How are they
going to represent us?
Right, how are they going to come across and represent us and all this stuff. The second aspect is how the distributors would view that. So Master Choice.
So our distributors, that we have typically worked through,
right,
in those territories,
right,
to sell seed,
right. How would they view that? There's direct employees in our Master Choice booth, and really 100%. I'll give a kudos. I'll start with the distributor side. They were nothing but in support of it. They understand our need and desire for that. They understand that the two things can coexist. And so there was nothing but support. We even got to send them out and let them go see their booths and see what was going on in their booths. And so there's been a great working relationship still there. So we're really excited about where that's going to go. But secondly, our new people killed it. I mean, they just did a great job.
Wait.
Good killed it.
Good killed it. Good killed it. I just
killed it.
What, they killed Master's Choice?
like he killed it, bro.
Like he killed it.
Yeah. Killed it, bro.
They that you can tell that they are ingrained in the
millennials.
They are ingrained in the environment with us as a staff. They are really excited about the product. You can tell they know the product. They've been studying the product. They're still learning specifics on hybrids, but as far as the overall concept of what we're trying to accomplish, they've got it down. And so, we do a fun thing. And most people who have walked by the booth probably, if you're wearing a hat of another seed company, you've probably picked up on this. We do a hat game, and it's fun. It's not a secret, right? We're trying to get your hat off your head to take your Master's Choice hat, and that's a fun
Only if
competition.
You're wearing a
We're trading hats.
Trading hats.
We're
not
trading hats.
stealing your hat.
We're
giving you a
somebody's hat off their head.
Well, you should have seen
if
Emily.
I can get you to give me your hat, I'll give one out of
Yes.
my inventory.
Yeah. So we do that as a fun thing, but it actually does have a purpose, and the purpose being that we want to interact with people and engage with people, and it stirred up a lot of fun conversations.
And it makes for some pretty cool decorations in the marketing office.
Yeah, I feel a vlog coming on with that next year, possibly. So
We'll
they did a great job. Just so thrilled with where they're going. So, and I think it's going to turn into some positive sales for them for sure.
Good deal. So as we wrap this up, Andrew, any last words from you?
If you are listening to this podcast and you live within driving distance of Madison, Wisconsin, and you've never been to World Dairy Expo, what are you waiting on? Just so much fun as an exhibitor, but from an attendee standpoint, there's so much going on. There's so much cool stuff to see. There's so many pins to steal. Maybe not.
Yeah, no, there's pins.
Lots of pins.
There's lots of pins to steal. Like, I've got 5 kids that go to school.
You're leaving with handfuls.
Like,
of pins.
I'm like, can I get some pins? I gotta supply these children's.
Yep. But lots of great food. There's food. A million different places that get food on the grounds, and it's all world class.
I have one gripe about the food.
Oh no.
I know. So the famous grilled cheese tent and milkshakes. Now, I've probably been to Dairy Expo, I don't know, six times. At least somewhere in that neighborhood. Am I dreaming? Did they used to do vanilla milkshakes there too, right?
That's correct.
Okay, this year they only had chocolate, and I was a little disappointed because I
wouldn't know because I always only ever get the chocolate.
I'm not a chocolate shake guy.
I believe we're gonna have to remove our sponsorship if we don't see some changes.
If we don't.
Actually, Mycogen sponsors the grilled cheese tent.
I meant of the overall World Dairy experience.
But anyway, I'll guarantee you this: if Master's Choice sponsored that, we
Whoa,
would, we
here we
would-
go.
Have some
we
vanilla
would have some
milkshakes.
vanilla milkshakes. I'm telling you, this chocolate milkshake business.
Any
Strawberry.
of our marketing sales
No,
reps
I'm
friends listening to that, Mark wants some vanilla shakes next year. So.
So anyway, all right. So Scott, you any last words about Dairy Expo?
Well, the thing that people probably don't realize is that planning for World Dairy Expo for next year started the day we left World Dairy Expo
Yes.
this year.
Yep.
That we're already looking at where we're going to stay. What's it look like next year? This is by far our biggest, highest investment for any show that we attend, and we're seeing dividends come from it. But we want to hear. I know we want to hear feedback.
Yeah.
What did you like? What did you not like? What level of coverage would you like to see? And just keep comments, keep interaction coming because we want to get better.
Yeah, I think that kind of bears just a second here to before we close this out.
Yeah.
Lots of seed companies in the country, and I would guarantee you that we're the only ones that are sitting around talking about planning all year for World Dairy Expo, and it's our biggest show of the year. Our competitors are at lots of different trade shows, and I'm sure World Dairy Expo is not the largest one that they're at. I mean, they're probably more prominently featured in other shows, but I think that the energy at World Dairy Expo, being a company that is selling to livestock producers, that is very dairy centric, I think that just being with that community for a full week and engaging with industry contacts and with consumers that are passionate about dairy, it fuels us. So there are definitely bigger trade shows out there for a seed provider, but I think that just the company that we are and the people, just really appreciating that dairy community. I think that kind of really hammers home Scott's point, where that is our most important show of the year, and we spend a year preparing for it. So.
Definitely. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. You guys out there listening, I appreciate you all listening in. Send us some comments. Let us know. Let us know kind of what you want to hear about. Sometimes. Let us know what you think, what you don't like. If you don't like Scott as a guest, let me know that. We can arrange that. And so
I'll send you that email later.
Not going anywhere.
So
I will be here.
You can always you remember that we are social. You can always find us at YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. And always, 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 you can find us at seedcorn.com. Thanks, guys. Aaron, turn it off.
We out.
We're done.
We're done. Turn it off.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron. I am a man of constant sorrow. I seen trouble all my days.
we're done.
I don't remember the words to this song, so go away.
I got nothing.
There's nothing left here.
Go to sleep, you little baby. Go to sleep, you little baby. Hiding in the corner and your daddy ain't home. Gonna be nobody but the baby. Go sleep, you little baby.